Hello, Taco here from Taco's hiking page, which doesn't really exist anymore since I deleted it from Facebook. However, I'm still here, so I'll make a video. Normally I use a hammock, but this is the tarp tent notch, and I'm going to give it a try. There's certain situations where sleeping on the ground is the only thing you can do, such as on top of a bald mountain, or sometimes when you want to sleep with your friends in a shelter and instead of hanging your hammock. So I'm going to give this tarp tent notch a try. It is 1 pound 13 ounces without their poles. If you have trekking poles that will change their length, then you can use those instead and leave their poles at home. Their poles weigh about 6.5 ounces, so less than 2.5 pounds for an entire tent, rain fly, and everything. So we're going to give this a try setting this up. So first thing, we'll get the bag and tent and poles all separated. Okay, so poles. Okay, poles are ready. Find the stakes. I know they're in here somewhere. Okay. It's really important not to leave the stakes behind. You absolutely have to have these for this tent to work. Okay. Stakes. Normally I would use a ground cloth, but it's still in the washing machine. So real simple. Black part goes in the ground, green part goes in the air. And if you packed it up right, unlike the way I did last time, if you packed it up right, you don't have to expose the floor to the rain. You should be able to put this whole tent up without getting the inside exposed to the rain. This is only the second time I've put this thing together. So forgive me if I'm a little bit ends first, I guess. Ends first, then middles. The neat thing about this tent is you can put these poles up from the outside to the inside without exposing the inside to rain. It's got these clever little patches. Again, you can use your trekking poles if you have them, but they've got to be able to adjust to 45 inches, and mine do not. So at this point, this is pretty much it. To get the ends pinched down. It's the fastest I've ever put up any tent. These go over here. These go over here. So you don't have a huge dip in the top, or a nice smooth top to the thing. And there you go. Let's see how much time that took. tarp tent notch. Now, at this point, you're out of the rain inside the tent, but there's still a few things to do. Inside, the floor has these neat little tie-outs. So what you do is unzip, lift the tent poles out of the way, pull these tie-outs. So you pull these tie-outs to hold your bathtub floor out. Okay, now that I'm inside, and I'm 6 feet 2 inches, you can see there's plenty of room for my feet before they start hitting the net. And the net helps keep me off the tent fabric. And then at my head, you can see there's still several inches between my head and the other end. So this bathtub floor is pretty big enough, and they call it a bathtub floor because the floor actually comes up and becomes partial wall like a bathtub. So if there's any water, it doesn't run right into your tent. So all in all, a really neat tent. And like I said, even with my height, I'm just barely scraping the net and not even the tent fabric on the outside. So I'm just barely scraping the net when I sit up. So let's do it. Oh, and these neat little vestibules outside. I can put my shoes there. I can put my backpack over there. So you got plenty of room that's underneath a rain cover where you can store your stuff. Okay, so you saw how fast this tent went up. Let's see how fast we can put it down compared to maybe a hammock or something else. So these go down pretty fast. So it's raining and you're ready to take your stuff down the next morning and go somewhere. Okay, so that's pretty much the tent. So you can roll it up, keep that bathtub floor on the bottom from getting too wet. And Tarp Tent does a really good job of giving you a tent bag that their tent actually fits back in. A lot of tent companies make tent bags that are good for nothing other than shipping. Once you take them out once, you'll never use it again. There you go. Ready to go.